as it relates to my collective in love. What do they need to know at this time? Oh, damn. Okay. So some of you are dealing with an air sign who's very much in their head about you right now. Like obsessively in their head about you, overthinking, stressing about the connection. This is somebody who could be trying to control the way they think. It's like they're not allowing themselves to just let the energy flow. The song is The Man Who Can't Be Moved. Okay, if that's not an on the nose message, this is somebody that I feel like is trying everything in their power not to be open to this, even though everything in them is telling them that this love, this connection, this relationship is destined. This feels quite exhilarating but terrifying to this person. I don't feel like this person's ever been so sure about something that they didn't know, like intellectually or factually. This is somebody who's never been so sure about something that didn't come to them through logic. It came to them through the heart, but they're not used to receiving information that way. They're not used to receiving certainty through the heart. This is somebody who knew they loved you probably the moment that they connected with you. Emotionally, intuitively felt it. Wow. Here's why. Here's why. This is your energy. This is your energy. You are the person that people write love stories about or love poems about. You're the kind of person that people see as both like elegant and like sophisticated, thoughtful, compassionate, very giving and generous of your time, your energy, your attention. You're somebody who allows yourself to plant new seeds in order to grow. You challenge yourself. You're somebody as well who does desire to live the life of your dreams, and you're unwilling to stop until you achieve that dream. You're someone who does have a big imagination. Of course, you're physically very attractive. Physically very attractive, of course. But it's not your level of physical attraction that got this person. What really romanced this person, what really enticed this person, was this quiet inner knowing that they had never encountered anyone like you. That they had never experienced a connection like this. Because it didn't come from a mind-based place. It came from a heart-based place, a soul-based place. You're the epitome of the divine feminine energy. You are the creation of all things, and you make it look easy. And for some time, you might have felt that maybe people took for granted the fact that, again, you have this commitment to excellence and growth and expansion. You really do seek to be able to have successful relationships. And again, you're very career oriented and you take good care of your family, your kids. But you make it look easy, right? Because of the effort that you put in, the commitments that you put in. And I think people take that for granted, or at least they have in the past. I feel like people have maybe seen you as almost an enigma, like you're in a category all your own. You're in a category all your own. That has been isolating for you. Maybe you've been somewhat lonely experiencing this, knowing I'm always the person that people see as a model or an inspiration or a muse, but maybe never the person people choose. Maybe you feel like people always put you on a pedestal or fetishize you or fantasize about you, but never fully commit or invest to you. Maybe you feel like that has been the chip on your shoulder or the wound that you've worn for some years. Because people have a difficult time relating with you because, again, you have such a level of depth in who you are at a soul level and in the way that you show up in your life. You make it look easy, but it's not, is it? It's not. That's your commitment. That's your commitment to yourself. Damn. Damn. Two of Cups. High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. This person has never known anything to be as true as the feeling they have when they're with you. Wow. Damn. I feel like this person is trying everything they can to try to control this. They're trying everything they can to try to suppress this. It's like every part of them knows that this is true. But there's a change here that they're avoiding making. A change here that they're avoiding making. And I feel on your side, you do care about this person, but I feel like right now you're focusing on getting your life in a state of balance. You really do want the foundation of your life to be strong. And I feel like you are looking at things impartially based on what is best for you. You're really thinking about your future. You're thinking about what can grow in your life. There's definitely this energy of looking at this relationship as something that has to be additive to your life, or you don't have space for it. You have definitely elevated your vibration to the extent where you are not accepting anything below a certain standard anymore. For a time you did. You allowed people into your world because you saw the best in them. And because you saw the good in them, you supported them through their healing to be able to hopefully eventually meet you where you were. Not anymore. Not anymore. I feel like now you allow yourself to sit comfortably on this beautiful pedestal that you've created for yourself, on this beautiful throne, and you allow people to come towards you when they're ready. To come towards you with their offering, a fruitful offering that they had harvested through the same level of work that you have invested within yourself. The same level of cultivation that has allowed you to experience this expansion of abundance in your own energy, in your healing journey, and in your life. Damn. What is the current state of this relationship at this time? I heard questioning. Okay? There's a lot of healing here. I feel feminine energy healing, but I feel like it's on both sides. This is somebody who feels like they have to grow in order to be able to be with you. They have to expand in order to be able to meet you where you are. And again, I am feeling a little bit of intimidation. I feel like in the past, this person might have pushed you away or released this relationship while still watching you. It was very confusing. I feel like this person pushed you away or like fully cut things off, but they were still actively watching you and like inspecting you and again, trying to figure you out from this safe distance. And it feels like all that took place is that they gained further clarity around how they were feeling, but still had this level of confusion in their mind because truthfully, the mind and the heart don't always meet at first. Especially when someone's been conditioned to choose safe relationships that are predictable, connections that are based on a factual understanding of who people are and what they can be in your life. I feel for both of you for some time. You saw relationships as maybe this predictive path of getting to know someone, navigating through this journey, eventually reaching higher levels of commitment. It was based on what looked good on paper or what felt safe and, again, predictable or reliable. But this connection doesn't feel anything like that, to be honest, for both of you. The song is Somewhere Only We Know. Some of you have a place where you would go with this person, or there's one specific scene with this person that you replay over and over that sometimes brings you back into this place in which you say, if things could have been so simple where we would have been able to follow our hearts, if things could have been so simple so as to the extent where they didn't allow themselves to be overcome by their fears, maybe things could have been different. But I feel that that doesn't happen too often for you anymore. On occasion, you reflect, but you're not letting it overcome you. I feel for many of you, you acknowledge that this connection led to the growth that you've experienced. For most of you, you see this person as being a catalyst. You're just not sure if they're a destination anymore. Okay? I'm seeing the initials R, S, C. Okay? I'm seeing air sign energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. I'm seeing Scorpio as well as being significant and Libra. And yeah, the song Somewhere Only We Know by Keen. Some of you are dealing with the Virgo, again, still watching you, dreaming about you. Thinking about all the things they wish they told you. All the things they wish they expressed to you. What does this person wish they expressed to my collective when they had the chance? That nothing feels like you do. We're not going to digress into what that means further for you specifically, but nothing feels like you feel, okay? Just know that. Just know that this person is having a really difficult time being present because their thoughts of you come quickly and furiously and bring them right back into your connection, okay? What is the current state of this connection based on this collective? I honestly feel you're both a bit guarded, to be honest. I feel you're both guarded because you've been hurt too many times here. I feel like this is a collective that feels a strong soul tie, but also feels like this relationship either has to pause or there needs to be a point of reflection as to whether you truly want to open up to this again. Some of you are questioning whether you should. Some of you don't know if you should open up because you feel like if you open up again, then you're just going to repeat a past cycle here or not experience any forward movement. Some of you think this person hasn't learned their lessons. Some of you think it's a risk, it's a gamble, and you don't want to take the risk. Because in the past, when you took the risk, you feel like you were maybe embarrassed by the outcome, or you feel like the outcome didn't go as planned. There's definitely this energy of not wanting to take the risk or not wanting to take the gamble. Okay, there could be a connection to Las Vegas for some of you. You could live in Las Vegas. You could have gone with this person to Las Vegas. What else do we need to know about this person? Damn. There's so much transformational energy on both sides. And I honestly feel like Spirit is protecting both of you in order to be able to transform. The question is, are you transforming to come back to each other? Or transforming to move in a completely different direction? Some of you don't know the answer to that yet. Some of you aren't meant to know the answer to that yet. Some of you are being called to focus strictly on the transformation. Damn. The song is, Why Can't I? Why can't I breathe whenever I think about you? I feel for some of you are going to run into this person in person. Some of you are going to run into this person in person. Unexpectedly. And there's going to be the awareness on both sides that you've both changed. You have both changed. Dang. Okay. What does this collective need to know about the potential for this relationship in the future? I feel for a lot of you, truthfully, that this is a twin flame, that you are healing in separation, for a lot of you to come back together. To come back together. Because I feel that both of you can't fully move on from this. I feel for those of you who have let go and moved on fully, this isn't your collective. This is not your collective. If you have let go of this person and you want nothing to do with them and you have healed and you've released, this is not your collective. If you still feel soul tied to this person, but you also are feeling called to focus all of your energy and attention on an activation of your higher self, on a stepping into any new opportunity that presents, on a willingness to trust the universe to guide you towards your highest path, not holding on to this person. There's a distinction. You're not holding on to this person. Your soul is still connected to them, but you're not choosing to hold on. You are aware of the fact that you're still connected while focusing your efforts on transformation and evolution and growth and expansion and a willingness to trust the journey, trust your guides. This is about pointing all of the energy that used to point into needing to know what was going to happen with this person into yourself. Damn. And that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy. And the more you care for yourself, the more you invest this energy into yourself, the more you allow yourself to give yourself over to the universe in a place of trust, the more you embrace the change that's being offered to you. This change is about you emerging as a new version of yourself. This change is about you being able to follow your cosmic purpose. This change is about you being able to activate your third eye and have the epiphany and the breakthrough that you need in order to be able to form a solid foundation in your life, which is what you're doing at this time. You are forming a solid, rock-hard foundation. So any partner, this person and otherwise, must be a vibrational match to that solid foundation. If you're in a place where your affairs are in order, your house is in order, your career's in a good place, you got money in the bank, okay, the balance is looking good, you feel like you're in a good place in your other relationships, family, your children are well taken care of, well loved, right? If all of those other things are in order, then you will attract in a partner who's in that same place, right? If you're taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, then you will attract a partner who's in that same place and space. That's what I see this collective doing. Forming a solid structural foundation to allow whichever partner is meant for them to step through the portal to be able to join them for a new beginning that is aligned. But truthfully, for this collective, I feel for a lot of you, your story is not over with this person. It's not. The song is Lifehouse, you and me. You and me. Your story is not over, okay? There are limitations that have held you back for a time on both sides. But here's the truth. You're not going to this person to be able to be a source of closure or truth or healing. You're finding that within yourself. I feel for a lot of you. Again, those fears were fears that you had to acknowledge, that you had to face head on. The fears of someone not loving you, not choosing you, not valuing you. It was because you inherently were not loving yourself, not choosing yourself, not valuing yourself. You have faced those fears. You have acknowledged those fears. And you're showing up differently, energetically. And this is helping you move as well beyond this need to gain reassurance from this person. Because the moment you detach to focus on yourself as you have, the moment you recognize that you have everything that you need within you. Okay? Damn. What is the future going to look like for this collective with their person? What do they need to know? I feel you in this collective, Shilpa. So there are signs and synchronicities that are helping guide you towards a higher purpose and path. This is about allowing yourself to no longer carry the burdens of the past. Some of you are still carrying the burden of needing this person to come forward to ask for something, forgiveness, closure. Maybe there's something you feel like you still need to understand. But I feel for a lot of you, you have everything you need in order to be able to understand this. This is about saying, enough is enough. I'm not going back to the past. If somebody wants to join you in a state of divine union, they have to join you in your present and in your future, not in your past. They have to come forward ready to be able to fully embrace this love and all it has to offer. They have to be able to come forward with a willingness to fully trust their heart and with the receptivity of doing the work. They have to meet you where you are. Anything else we need to know about this collective? Okay. There's something here about monarch butterflies. You could have a butterfly tattoo. That could be a confirmation. There's something here about you've either recently seen something written. Maybe it's a story that you wrote or a story that you've read or a poem that you feel like speaks to the fact that you're willing to let go of the old version of this relationship. Because I do feel this energetic cutting of the cords, okay? And a cutting of the cord does not mean that you won't come back around or that you won't be able to have a new opportunity or new beginning for this relationship. A cutting of the cords means I release old attachments. I release any expectations based on who you were and what that would require of this person or what that would require of you, allowing you to be free to choose each other willingly and with an open heart. For many of you, that is where you're experiencing the spiritual growth that's going to lead you back to this person. Okay? The song is torn, though. I see some of you in this collective still go back and forth, right? You don't really know whether or not this is good for you. This is a collective that is a bit conflicted, a bit nuanced, a bit complicated. I don't feel you necessarily having a level of certainty. And again, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. I feel like right now, you're in this place in which you are trying to focus on new blessings and abundance that is coming to you. And you don't want to keep yourself in a place in which you feel stuck or in which you feel like anything prevents you from stepping into your full power. Yeah, there's a lot of fears here of your power being taken away from you by this relationship. Where are the fears here coming from, my collective side? Why are there fears coming from? Wow. Because you learned and you've grown and you don't want to relearn the same lessons. And maybe you question whether this person has learned in the same way that you have. Outwardly, I don't feel like you see that they have. Your perception of this person is that you don't feel like they're willing to learn or willing to grow. So you love them and you know this love is holy, but for some of you, you're feeling like that is enough. That this love existed in a moment, but can't continue to guide your path. Dang. Okay. Any advice here for this collective? What are they needing to do specifically around this energy? I feel like first and foremost, this is less about what your person's doing and more about what you need to be able to repair the relationship with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself at this time. Be compassionate to your needs first, not your other person's needs, okay? Sometimes when we are too compassionate to the needs of others, we can lose ourselves in the process. We can strive to understand them and empathize with them instead of accepting them as they are. And I feel for many of you, it's about relinquishing this giving of compassion, this giving of love to others. Some of you, okay, this is going to be a tough message to receive, but one of you, at least one of you in this room needs to hear this message, okay? Some of you pride yourself on being able to empathize with others and be compassionate towards others' needs and support other people. And for a long time, maybe you felt like it was for the other people. Maybe you felt like it meant that you were a good person and that you were doing good work. But I'm going to say a very hard thing. I think for a lot of you, that was more about you. That was more about you. That was more about needing to feel like a good person. Not being a good person, needing to feel like a good person. There's a distinction. Because when you feel like you're a good person, right, then you can feel better about a sense of self that maybe isn't there, or a sense of self-worth that doesn't exist naturally within you. So instead of loving yourself, or instead of valuing yourself, you empathize with others, showed compassion towards others, and felt like you were good. But I will tell you unequivocally, you are good simply by being. You've always been good. Okay? Final advice for this collective regarding whether they should be open to this state of union. What do they need to know? Do you know what's so interesting for this collective? I feel for many of you, you're being guided to not know. And I know some of you even feel intuitively like that's the case. Some of you are actually trusting a lack of certainty more than you used to trust certainty. Damn, that's what this is. Some of you are trusting that you don't know and that's the way it's supposed to be. Where in the past you only trusted certainty, you only trusted knowing. But now you're like, no, I trust uncertainty more. Because uncertainty means I'm allowing space for the universe to co-innovate with me, to work with me, to guide us forward, to support both of our individual paths. Okay? Surrender. It's exciting to trust. Yes, giving up control. Final advice for this collective as they trust. The messages here are trust. But here's the truth, and nothing but the truth. Along with trust, the universe does ask of you that you are explicit in what you desire. And I don't mean specifically for this person, because sometimes the faultiness in our manifestations, right? The chink in the armor, the inability to manifest comes from a desire to manifest something with so much specificity that it doesn't allow the universe space to be creative or to be able to put forth something that is aligned. Okay? Yeah, some of you have recently listened to Van Morrison. You love Van Morrison. Your parents could have raised you listening to Van Morrison. But this is about you asking for what you desire and then preparing to receive it and enjoying the journey to get there. Okay? As we've said in other collectives, once you ask, all you have to do is sit back, be in that passenger seat, like the passenger prince or princess that you are. Enjoy the ride. Because if you are always in the driver's seat, it's exhausting. It's draining. It requires you to be in a state of penultimate control, to be omnipresent and connected to all things and all people. Exhausting, unnecessary, and much less enjoyable of a path. You will enjoy the view from the passenger seat. The ride itself will be much more peaceful. Allow the universe to guide you, and along the way you will receive intuitive downloads and understandings. But it's about being brave enough to not know. Being courageous enough to not know. Because this bravery is about continuously putting yourself out there and being in your authenticity, even if you're not assured a specific outcome. This applies to all areas of your life. If you are in a place in which you are able to command that authenticity, for instance, in career, and set an intention around what you desire and show up consistently, eventually you'll create something out of nothing. Eventually a miracle will take form. Eventually you will see magic take place. But that magic is created in the place and space of trust. Trust and nothingness. And that's scary for some of you. Some of you have a fear of nothingness. But it is about accepting where you are. And yes, believing in miracles and being brave enough to follow the path that is completely undefined and undetermined at this time. Maintaining your composure along the way and ease and grace through the ebbs and flows, the highs and lows as they will come. You will occasionally have moments in which you're pulled into periods of emotional volatility, but it's important in those times that you listen deeply to your guides. They are working directly with you, and they are so proud of the growth that you've experienced. This is not just about love, although love is an expression of the journey. This is about this deep, pivotal transformation that you've been undergoing. This is about you being willing to present yourself in a state of true vulnerability. Vulnerability being, this is who I am, this is who you've learned that you are, and sharing that with the world without fear, with courage, with bravery, and knowing that that allows you to be free to connect and align with what is meant for you, free to be able to float above things that are meant to be petty tyrannies or things that are not meant to be part of your long-term path, free to be able to explore and experience, but only to connect to things that ultimately are meant to be meaningful. Okay? Final advice here for this collective moving forward. Okay. Many of you have been receiving intuitive downloads that miracles are incoming. And when we say miracles, what do miracles mean to you? Again, it's making something or seeing something come out of nothing. Okay? Some of you need to start believing in magic again. And I say this because I feel for some of you, this connection and love perhaps pushed you back to the side of pragmatism or pushed you out of this place of fully trusting, fully opening your heart, maybe in the same way. Okay. So this is a collective that needs to be able to shift back into that place in which they're not only trusting the uncertainty, but they're opening their heart to what is to come. If you can open your heart to what is to come and surrender to the universe and the path ahead, a beautiful miracle awaits you. For most of you in the month of June, this miracle is incoming and it is significant, okay? For some of you as well, there's something here about you making a name for yourself. I heard making a name for yourself. And I feel that this is maybe something that some of you have shied away from. I pick up on this collective, the energy of maybe staying in the background, not wanting to assert yourself too much, not wanting to fully take up space, right? Or again, ask for what you need or be direct, or again, maybe put your name out for a promotion opportunity. This is a collective that is about to make a name for themselves, okay? And I feel for many of you, this has been a reflection of the deep inner work that you've done, the healing work that you've done, the fact that you even feel at this time that you feel comfortable doing so, that you feel brave enough to put yourself out there and ask for what you desire and expect to receive. Okay? I hope that message was helpful for my collective, sending so much love, positive energy, and abundance. If you enjoyed that collective message, 1111 down below to let me know.